Another brilliant move by Shanae here. She walks over, and the only reason that it's a good move is because of how soft the target is. Mm-hmm. If this was anyone else, it would be problematic. I mean, we've seen, who was the young lady that wanted to choke Nick Viall?
Oh, the chokey?
Yeah. Jasmine wanted to choke Nick Viall.
Ask me if I want to be choked. I'm Nick Viall.
Do you like getting choked?
Mommy will. Mommy will.
Hi, hello, and welcome to another brand spanking new episode of another Below Deck podcast. My name is Dylan. I'm saddled up next to one real Nicholas Davis.
What's going on, everybody?
Pat, producer of the podcast, is over there behind my glasses.
Hello, everybody.
We cooling down, boys?
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, public service announcement. Check out our more broad, general show, the show called Another Podcast Show that you can find for free and or at patreon.com/Another Podcast Network. We do an extra episode a week there. We just did a lovely little ramen challenge where we walked Pat. You were less affected by it. You still got a little bit of schmutz on you right there. But we sampled a little ramen, and it was spicy. So that's why I said, are you cooling down?
Mm-hmm. I walked across those coals, and I didn't flinch.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I got a big PSA to get out there. Got to get the message out.
Well, I understand that, but if
He's still
for a
asking
moment
you.
could you be present and just answer the fucking question, that would be great.
What was the question?
How are you
Really?
doing
Good.
after
Unbelievable.
the heat? After
Very
the
good.
heat?
Unbelievable.
Have you cooled down?
I'm trying to plug the thing.
It was
we just had a
supernatural.
goofy thing where we were eating hot food, and you were so preoccupied with what you were going to say that your ears literally shut off.
Pat has lost his wits about him because of how much fun we had at patreon.com/Another Podcast Network doing the ramen challenge on Another Podcast
We talked
show.
about how prevalent spice is in the culinary world these days.
It had a point.
It's a lovely show. Pat.
PSA?
Second PSA.
Yes, the second PSA.
Okay, this is
Thank you for your support there, because what a dick he just was.
both of you.
You could feel crazy if I wasn't here. He was gaslighting the shit out
Oh
of you.
my God, yeah.
Two things to get to here. Yeah, the first one, very important. All right, everybody. This week, as you're listening to this, we're going to drop 10 episodes of Love is Blind in this feed.
5 Thursday, 5 Friday.
Is that how you want to do it?
Or maybe 5 Friday, 5 Saturday.
Do it all at the same time.
Do it all at the same time.
All right, it'll come later in the week, Friday
Saturday.
or Saturday.
All right, so they'll be in your feed, and you can have fun. And then you got to watch the show on Netflix, because in 2 weeks, season 2 drops. And that's going to be behind a paywall.
And it's the
see what we're
greatest
trying to do there.
It's the greatest show we've ever done.
So we need 5 or 1,000 of you to pony up $5.
We need 5 or 1,000.
And do it now, because now it's the beginning of February, so this is the perfect time to soak up an entire month of content for $5.
Get in early. That's all I had to say.
Okay, so patreon.com/Another Podcast Network. Give us $5. Second piece of business, little promotion. Dylan and I head over to the podcast for Crying Out Loud, hosted by Stephanie Wilder-Taylor and our boss, Lynette Carolla. And you get a different side of Dylan and I. You get a look. We discuss our lives, our marriages, and all that good stuff. And at some point, it turns dark. But go over there and let them know that we should be on that show more, because we're so good on the show.
Yeah, it got dark because Pat's dog passed away this weekend.
Winnie, yeah.
She was a beautiful dog. Not a lot of teeth, tongue constantly out of her mouth, and
Well, that happens because when they don't have any teeth, their tongue just sits out.
just slid out,
Sometimes when they do have teeth, their tongue just slides out. Chewy would always get all dry.
All right, so love your animals. They're not here forever. It is a tragedy when they leave us. Kiss them. Good night. Let's get into the show. Also, come on, guys. 5 stars. We'll read positive reviews next week. We promise. We have to do that. We have to be optimistic about our review section, okay? You cooling down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dylan tried to poison me earlier.
Okay. So let's
explain that to him.
Let's get into the show. And we begin with a fan favorite segment, General Thoughts. Nick? You take it away.
All right. I didn't know if that was going to be it. I should have assumed my name was just leading me into it, but thanks for specifying.
No work.
I enjoyed it.
Huh?
Shanae, though no real connection with Clayton, is she's a really good villain. The ability to be molded by clay, like clay, by the producers who were the Ashleys.
Molded by clay, like clay. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
The ability to be molded like clay
Okay.
by the producers is what you're looking for in a villain.
So I thought you were giving him a nickname for a second.
No.
Okay.
Although his rap name in college, I just saw today on something, was Clay-Doh. But no. Good episode. I have specific thoughts all throughout the thing.
You don't want to get specific
This
here.
might have been my worst general thoughts ever, 72 Roses.
That thing of him being Clay-Doh, that's what his rap name was because he likes rapping. When we had Kate Casey on, before the Bachelor season came out, he had a list of 40 things that you didn't know about Clayton. That
and
was
a
one
lovely
of them.
baby barnacle or baby bird posted on our Facebook today. Go mix it up there. A lot of lovely people. I'm going to go next.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you 100% positive the thing that Baby Bird posted was the thing that Kate Casey was talking about?
Yeah, they're from the same article.
Okay.
All right. So, guys, I thought the episode was fantastic, honestly. I mean, there's a very low ceiling, but I thought it was fantastic. Clayton continues to be so laughably bad. Shanae is not just a villain, but a Joker type villain. You know, like Corinne kind of.
Corinne Olympius? Corinne Olive?
I don't think we've had somebody.
Friend of the show,
a
Corinne
friend of the show, Corinne Olympius. Full-blown olive-eating monster, Corinne Olympius. I think that she is kind of matching, I don't want to say wits here, but severity of meanness, I would say. We get to see Elizabeth completely fall prey to this and lose. I mean, categorically. Did not see that coming. A true Norman's his mommy 2 type twist. And we're going to Houston. 95 pots. Mm-hmm. Pat.
Yeah, going to Houston. I thought we were going to go around the world because, a couple episodes ago, we did have a helicopter land on a yacht. So there was hope there. Instead, we're going to fucking Houston, where I don't know if most people knew this, but the murder rate is up 71% in 2021.
Crime's up everywhere. It's a beautiful city.
So pack your fucking bags, ladies.
Yeah.
I thought that was all very lame. This is episode 4, I believe.
Yeah.
This is when
4th day of school.
This show should be firing on all cylinders, right?
It
It's not
is.
hometowns yet. We got a little nuttiness. Excuse me.
Yep. We got the long C. Everybody calm down. I know.
Episode did not deliver the way I had hoped.
Right.
I don't know. 4.
I think it is even specified.
No unit.
Yeah, no unit. No unit.
All right. So last we left off, the stage had been set for.
I'm just nervous about a joke I have to do later. Just
Don't get
shake
it
it
in
out.
your side
Don't
your
get
head.
in your
I know.
head, man. It's
Shake
just
it
3
out.
friends hanging out talking about their favorite show.
Okay, all right.
So last we left off, the stage had been set for Elizabeth and Shanae to square off.
I cannot not write this woman's name as Shanae. I don't know where I got it from, but I write it all the time, and then I hear it. I'm like, oh, I've corrected.
Dude, Pages won't even let me spell her name.
Really? Yeah.
Pages corrects everything. I don't want to be corrected. I'm bad at spelling, but I can figure it out. Let me write cuckoo.
I like mine spelt phonetically so I can nail those jokes with the names,
All right, so
When you're trying to glance
fucking
down,
God.
not really think about it.
So, sorry. The house is convinced that Shanae is the one who is damaging the morale and the sanity of the house. Gabby is pretty convinced that Clayton is going
Who cares what Gabby thinks?
Yeah. My only note for this first scene was a bunch of girls with no chance give their views on what's happening.
Nailed it.
But you had something here.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
But Gabby.
I love Gabby.
Right. Jennifer Tilly voice.
She's pretty convinced that Clayton's going to be rational about this whole thing. And then, in a Little Orphan Esther's, a what?
Actually, a 33-year-old former prostitute type twist.
He actually kind of does handle it okay. But he handles it, bad note, he handles it like every Bachelor ever has. You know, he pulls the two girls aside, the two young ladies aside, and I am so sorry about the quality of my voice right now, and I'm going to push the mic away a little bit, and I'll let you guys set up the night.
I like a little rasp, to be honest.
Oh my God, what's happening?
It's sexy, Dylan.
So Clayton tells the camera that the drama between Shanae and Elizabeth is ruining his experience.
Right.
All right, it is his time. Jesse Palmer did tell him.
Just have fun, man.
It's your fucking show, dude.
Who cares about the roses? Hey, give 1 to 3 of them. Let them fight over it. Just have fun in there, man. You're the Bachelor.
Now Clayton wants to address the drama, so he grabs both the ladies.
Yes.
And both ladies that I think should or could be on the show Selling Tucson or work as old strippers. I know I'm a pig. Forgive me.
Got out ahead of that.
Oh my God.
Anyway, do you want me to get to the point where like they start mixing up and having it out and talking about shrimp and whatnot?
No. So, my fucking God, Genevieve. No. So Genevieve has been tapped by the producers before this whole thing
The bartender
kicks off. Yes, the masshole bartender.
What about Selling Saratosa?
Okay. Selling Jupiter.
No, alliteration, damn it.
Well, selling Jupiter would be pretty crazy. I mean, there's a lot of wealth.
A lot of real estate there.
A lot of wealth there. All right, so Genevieve has been tapped by the producers to suggest that all of the girls kind of talk this out before Clayton gets there, and it's all happening while he walks inside. You know, yes. He's going to walk into this and see that they're fighting, and this is going to set us off on a wild, wild night. He pulls both of them aside and gets both of their sides of the story. Now, Shanae says that she's felt a certain kind of way and wants it to stop, and that's when Quasi walks in and he pulls the two young ladies aside. So Elizabeth, the Joker's victim, is still very, very much confused about why her perfect blonde existence is being ruffled by this kind of joker of a human being. And Clayton says a few words about finding them both attractive or something, but then he just kicks it to Elizabeth and he gets the fuck out of the way.
Well, they start having it out. And I have to say this about Clayton. His little brain activity that is happening in that fucking head of his, I'm pretty confident he'd like to kill himself. This conversation is it's painful. It's painful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He steps aside to let them continue. Forgive me.
No, that's okay. Okay. So
and shrimp cake happened. We're dancing around it. Fucking shrimp cake starts.
So Liz says that she tried to talk to Shanae, and Shanae told her to go fuck herself. Now, I'm incredibly impressed by what Shanae is actually pulling off here, because she's speaking the purest form of nonsense, but she's doing it very convincingly, actually. She's sticking motive to Elizabeth for things that are the way they are because she's unpleasant to be around and she's nuts. It's actually pretty brilliant.
Well, I think the more brilliant play would have been, because, you know Clayton's hearing you, right? So, he's just around the corner or something listening in. He just didn't want to have to sit there, right, and make eye contact with you.
I think he's still very much listening to them at this point, throughout the evening.
So one of them should have said, hey, look, let's squash it. Let's start afresh. Let's respect one another. And Clayton would have picked that person. But instead, they both engaged in what I thought at the time was mutual destruction.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, was I wrong.
No, yeah. Big time. All right, so
2 women entered. 1 woman left.
Shanae stayed.
1 woman left. So Elizabeth is ducking and dodging, but like you said, there is no mature approach to this. She gets dragged into the muck and the mire. And because of that, Clayton is very disappointed. Because they're not talking about him. They're not fucking hooking up. He's not sucking necks and licking tongues. That's what he wants to do. He's a very simple man. And he likes food, but he doesn't want to talk about it right now. And that's what they're doing. They're talking about shrimp.
She forgot about dive and dip. I forgot what you said.
So finally we get to Jill. Left her cat to be here.
Call her Morticia.
No,
Dodge.
I'm going to call her Jill.
Jill.
Left her cat to be here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Morticia had a cat.
Did she?
I don't know.
All right. So she says it's very annoying that they haven't gotten any time with Clayton because this is all absolute nonsense. I mean, true nonsense. And that is when the girls begin to kind of yellow jackets surrounding. I can't get that terrible fucking show out of my head. Fuck you, Pat. I can't believe you made me watch that.
I haven't even seen
I
it,
didn't make
though.
you do anything.
I feel like the analogy is apt. They
Yes.
start swarming her.
They start swarming Shanae, and so Shanae kind of defends herself a little bit, but poorly. She says that she didn't want to end the note with her and Elizabeth. And the girls ask, well, why didn't you try to soften it or fix it? And her response is that she's not going to be speaking about herself tonight, which is a pretty definitive dikembe. You know what I mean?
So, all right, this is when I really didn't like Shanae. So, Hannah Brown 2.0
Susie.
attempts to be nice to Shanae. Like, I think she asked her, like, do you want to talk about it? Do you want to? And what you basically just said. But it's, as opposed to saying, all right, look, once again, we got off on the wrong foot. She just starts pounding fucking sushi.
Shrimp.
Right.
What's that?
Shrimp. She started pounding shrimp.
Those look like maybe shrimp in the sushi.
Yes, it was shrimp in the sushi. It was a very intentional thing that she did, that she didn't care about the controversy surrounding the shrimp. So she stacked her. They mentioned it.
Yeah,
Well, they made the producers do these things. There are these bits that are just so odd. And this was one of those things where they just led her to craft services and they made sure to have sushi that night. And they told her to stack her plate.
I've been watching this show for 20 years, on and off,
Yeah.
but mainly for the last 5 years.
Well, you're a love addict. You always watch it with your partner.
This is the first time I've seen a contestant eat food.
Right.
Ever.
Well, that's not true. Chad Johnson, who would do TRT and go on to have a
There he pound
Lunch meat.
lunch meat.
yeah, he would eat loose slices of turkey.
Which I don't know if he's aware about the amount of sodium in that
Yeah.
lunch meat, but I've been doing the same diet.
I guess what I mean is I never saw the catering at the rose ceremony.
Right,
So
right,
you know
right.
that the girls are going to have some cocktails and have a little finger food or whatnot.
Sure.
That interested me.
Right.
She actually kind of broke a rule. They're all dolled up, ready to get sent home or stay or whatever, and they're eating. Mm-hmm.
Who made that joke?
Huh?
Shanae.
What?
What?
I feel like we're not. I thought this was a dope move by her. Everybody's talking shit about the shrimp gate, and she comes in with a giant pile of shrimp, and somehow we'll find out what happened to her at the rose ceremony.
You guys want to get there?
I think so.
Before we get to the rose ceremony, as all this is going on, Clayton's in the other room. And they cut to him, and I believe he's thinking the whole time. He's like, Jesse Palmer lied to him when he said, "Dude, just have fun."
Yeah.
He's not having any fun at all.
No, this is very tough for him, actually. But also not, because he's completely sidelined because the producers know that, one, he'll make it more boring, and two, he'll fuck it up. So they just tell him, go outside and listen. What is he? He's rubbing his hands and thinking? What? Fuck off.
So we are going to go to a well, I guess he fucks everyone, and that'll make it exciting. But once we need more Clayton on screen time, we're going to come to a screeching halt.
It's going to be bad.
I've really enjoyed this season thus far,
Right.
but he has not been in any of the scenes that I've enjoyed.
Yes, that's such a good point. When they need to, production's going to have a fucking panic attack. Like episode 7 or 8, they're like, Clayton, buddy, you're going to be on lenses a lot today. Okay. We really need you to give us something that doesn't immediately get thrown away. Okay. So before we get to the rose ceremony, Genevieve takes it upon herself to scream at Shanae. That is when, and moments before Elizabeth is completely broken down. She's being held up by 3 women at this point because of the trauma. Papa Jesse comes in and delivers a shocking piece of news. Tonight will be the first of 8 canceled cocktail ceremonies that we will have this season. I don't know what's going on. It's like they can't afford the catering until like after 11 p.m. Where have these gone? We just don't have them anymore.
I mean, it goes back to my theory I just had.
Right.
A cocktail party means a lot of one-on-one
Right.
time with Clayton, and that would allow you to continue your bit. Dumb fucking shit, Clayton says.
All right.
It's a great bit.
he has such a dramatic drip to it. Like, deliver the news. Let's get to the fucking rose ceremony. Elizabeth then does finally break down in a miscongeniality moment. Her heart is shattered thinking of the fact that she might lose some of them, her sisters, who now know one another's hearts in just 6 short days. Alrighty, let's get a move on to the first roll call of the evening. Pat, hit it.
Oh, you want a roll call?
I really do. We need it.
We need a roll call?
Yeah,
we need it.
Here's the roll call. Hit the music. Here we go. Here's who's staying. Marlena, the Olympian. I'm very impressed by that. Teddy, hurry up the ceremony. She's got to go to bed so she can wake up tomorrow morning, watch her favorite show, Sesame Street. Rachel, some guy's cute girlfriend. Mara, I haven't thought of a name for her yet. Sierra, Clayton better know how to administer to that EpiPen after she eats peanuts. Hannah Brown 2.0. Morticia, Serene, the hottest chick on the show by far. The bartender, also her favorite hobby is playing with Legos. The joke, she looks pretty young too. Hunter, no clue who this person is. I have no clue who Hunter is.
That's my favorite. When he breaks the roll
call. Is she on this show? Blonde Tia, Shanae, also called the producer's pick.
And who, Patrick, goes home?
I forget the other girl's name.
Just the main person
Liz,
that goes home.
she departs to make it to the AVN Awards. You know what I mean?
What? Oh my God!
That was Cherise, where he said she looks like
Patrick. You can't repeat Cherie and get away with how piggish the comment is.
You're right,
and
I'm gonna be better.
And I
want to be good.
I don't see Elizabeth honestly doing porn. She's too plugged into that as we said.
She's gonna work and
she's gonna sell Saratosa.
But
and also until now, and I watched this episode twice pretty earnestly. Did not know there was a second person that left this rose ceremony.
I think there are a couple.
Who was it?
I think there were 3.
But Nick knows too much very quickly.
Oh yeah,
Clayton was pretty beat up about what happened and shook by how broken down Elizabeth was. And he did an Instagram note apology. Oh,
my God.
First note about this, Clayton operates his phone in dark mode.
Okay.
So that's a good note.
Fun fact.
Hey, that is fun.
What about you guys? I don't do that.
I don't do that.
I don't even know what it is.
Pat can't order himself an Uber. I mean, he can. He just doesn't want to have to pay for it.
I don't know how to do it.
Pat's a genius. He's also really bad at washing dishes, I bet.
Yeah. Honey, it's too hot.
Clayton writes on his dark mode note, "I'm sorry, Elizabeth, for what you're going through. I wish I could have seen what was happening when I wasn't there.
It was 6 months ago.
I obviously knew y'all weren't in a good place with each other, but I thought at the time that it was solely petty drama. I would have sent Shanae home immediately for making fun of you for being neurodivergent, had I known. Overall, the experience for me watching hasn't been fun, simply because I'm seeing all the damage that I caused. I really meant well, but my actions weren't always the best, as I now see the repercussions from my decisions."
Okay.
He knows he doesn't get to be the Bachelor again, right?
One more sentence. I can promise you I'm learning from the mistakes, though, and I am doing everything in my power to come out the other side a better man.
Wow. Beautiful. Really.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part about that is the moment where
He uses the word neurodivergent.
Of course. So someone's standing over him and he goes, I would have said, he's typing this out and they're watching and maybe they have a gun. And so he's writing this and he says, if I would have known that Shanae had called you retarded, I would have sent her home immediately. And they go, Clayton, you neurodivergent.
He's also a fan of mine. He's been listening to the podcast because it's that the apology of threes. I'm sorry. It'll never happen again.
Right.
And I learned a lot from this experience.
Yeah.
Check out
such an important triplet.
Check out season 1 of another Bachelor podcast, which I got to talk to Libsyn. I don't know if it's available right now.
Libsyn is evil.
And also, I think I fucking fucked up and forgot on another podcast show. There's too many fuckings, but I think I forgot. I had this bit where like I wanted to introduce words that I said like you guys are gonna hear.
Right.
Controlled opposition hasn't quite yet popped off.
No.
But I told you off air once about critical race theory like 9 months ago. I don't know if you remember that. It was when we went to that nice place downtown, all over the place. Neurodivergent was one I was gonna use.
Whoa.
It's part of the fetishization of mental illness.
Sure.
I'm neurodivergent. Oh, you're a little bit on the spectrum and you have an Adderall prescription. That's what that means.
Yeah, exactly.
Elizabeth has that Adderall prescription because she's motivated and she's going to sell the shit out of Saratosa.
She's going to sail so high because of the Adderall and the I don't know, the chip on her shoulder, but we wish her well and we're so sorry.
And that concludes Nick Knows Too Much
about what she's going through. So obviously this is the Svengalis at work. I think they made the wrong call though. They want Shanae around to be the villain.
Producer's pick.
To provide drama and conflict for her remainder on the show.
In every good movie, we're really having fun with the villain. The hero is boring.
But I will say, I think that they missed that Elizabeth is herself a villain.
Absolutely.
You agree with me?
She did
right?
a video today where she actually did the promo for being the next Bachelorette.
Is she going to be, or is she just making a?
I don't think they say.
I have a pretty airtight theory. No spoilers. This is literally just what I think, that pilot Rachel is going to be the next Bachelorette. And
great.
And we're going to get reused pilot Peter bits the entire time.
Oh, not only that, but boy, no, there was a pilot before Pilot Peter, and they overused the song, which we can bring back forward. They buy the license again. On the wings of love, the two of us.
Yeah.
Just wait. That's my theory. But I agree with you that Elizabeth is a villain. I initially said when Shanae, God damn it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where now I have to ask myself, what is it, Shanae or Janae?
Yeah.
It's Shanae.
Yeah.
I said when Shanae was kept and Cassie left that this is like one of those movies where you think you killed the villain, but then like a new villain springs up.
Like Harvey.
If they would have killed off Shanae,
yes,
we would have had... This is like the Steven Seagal 4-part series, Hard to Kill.
I was going to say that.
Yeah. You would have had a third villain pop up, and it would have been Elizabeth, because even though she's the leader of this Lord of the Flies type situation of women, one of these would have arose as a contender, and she would have picked them off.
And it's
a nice theory,
the competition... The competition wedges you into nastiness. I mean, at a certain point, you do have to cut your ties to your sisters. You know, the show gets nastier as we go on. But one of the reasons why I think it's a mistake is because I think people are going to get sick of Shanae pretty fucking quickly. Elizabeth is more of a long con villain. You know, there'll be a little bit more, depth to her arc on the show. She'll be friends and she'll slowly start, pushing people away, like Daenerys Targaryen, the mother of dragons. Right. You know what I mean?
Or the villain in Hard to Kill 4.
Shanae, we will be so beyond tired of Shanae 20 minutes or 30 minutes into next episode. It's very much like, and I know that I said that I loved her, and I do, but I do know that she's one of those people that will get tired of very, very soon. Queen Victoria or Princess Victoria. What was a Sty Monster?
The Sty Monster.
Yeah, another example of like, okay, we get it. You're nuts. You're a bitch. Let's move on, please.
But we can only hope that Shanae goes out in a blaze of glory like Sty Monster did, the way she said everybody was R-worded again, don't want to use it again. She was out there talking to the producers. She went out in a blaze of glory. I hope Shanae doesn't go quietly.
All right. I don't think that she will. Let's get to the next day.
Next day!
The Shun is signing, and things are very awkward. Leave it to Jill, who left her cat to be here, to remind everyone to calm the fuck down and not fight over complete nonsense. Unfortunately for her, Shanae is still there. And so is Sierra. We'll talk about her in a little bit, but oh my gosh. It's at this point when Jesse comes in to deliver some terrible news. They're not going to have a date today, but they are going to be going to a world-class city full of energy, southern hospitality, and urban chic. They are going to H-Town. The screams ensue, and he says that the plane leaves in an hour.
when he came in, he said something that really infuriated me.
Well,
So we had women leave, and Jesse Palmer said to all of them, "The room is definitely getting a lot smaller. Mm-hmm. It's actually getting bigger, you idiot."
That's true.
that is true.
There's more space in the room.
More room for activities.
Is guy supposed to be a host?
Yeah. I feel like he's not. That is literally, this is me dying to TFC. He's not going to be back. You're not going to make your host sound like an idiot like that if you're going to be back.
Yeah.
We get Tasha and Caitlin, and then Chris Harrison comes back for Paradise. Or possibly David Spade.
Chris Harrison
God
is
willing.
not going to come back. He is golfing every day.
I am from Middle America, and I am holding out hope that Chris Harrison is coming back to this franchise.
Pigeon will not be back on this show ever again. So he tells them there's not going to be a date today. But they're going to a world-class city full of energy, southern hospitality, and urban chic.
Did you guys guess? I thought Nashville.
I knew it was Nashville.
I thought it was going to be Singapore.
I knew it was going to be
That's
Nashville.
definitely someone who's been watching for 20 years.
No, they are going to H-Town. The screams ensue, and he says that the plane leaves in 1 hour. And I thought, why have you not told them this early? What a scramble. I mean, it's crazy. All right, let's get to Houston, and let's get to their hotel.
Before we do.
C. Baldwin.
Oh, the takeoff. Before they arrive at, what's the hotel?
The C. Baldwin.
Before they arrive at the C. Baldwin, before they land in Houston, they take off to Houston.
Right.
And when they take off, you mentioned some of the new jams they're playing.
Oh, my God, yeah.
They do, it's almost, honestly, Chance the Rapper doing Hot in Here-esque, a little country version of a song I think I recognize, but maybe you guys will prove me wrong. Let me know what song you think this is, and don't think hip-hop. Just open your ears and think what song you think this is, country version.
All right, the music bed. I'm listening for that.
All right, here we go.
Any thoughts?
It sounds like a sound-alike of some really hacky country song.
Yeah, it sounds like a piece of shit country song.
I don't think it is, but I could be wrong. But I think the problem is what makes country, they slowed it down. Can you go back and can you play this at 1 point, or does Hulu have 1.5 speed?
Yeah.
Oh, you got fucking video speed controller.
Yeah, of course.
Perfect. All right.
Now it sounds like an Irish jig.
It sounds like a jig, but also still a very shitty country song.
Yeah, like a sound like a something else horrible.
Okay. Now, will you play the link I sent you? Go to 113. Don't try not to. You're gonna look at the song.
Yeah.
Don't show Pat. Oh damn it.
I didn't see anything.
113.
113.
Dude, it's the exact same thing.
Pat, you remember the guy that sadly perished?
Yeah, he's dead.
Avicii.
Yeah, Avicii. He was renting the mansion you can see from the Hollywood Bowl at the time that he rolled sevens. I was probably looking at his dead body in that.
Hey, Pat?
Yeah.
Take it easy.
And and though all that is like incredibly tragic, I've always thought of this as an Aloe Black song. This was on my on the way to work playlist. But are you guys hearing what I'm? One more time, back to back, and I'll let it die.
Yeah, we'll play. Yeah, one more time. So what's happening here is that Nick is tone deaf.
No.
No.
Da-da-da-da-da.
The melody is completely different, and you are 1,000% wrong. Pat?
This is exactly, you know how you knew how your ramen thing was going to go down? I was like, don't go in excited, expecting agreement. Nick, God, what an ear you have.
Yeah.
No, you think, but play the last notes here. This is fucking Wake Me Up.
Nick's doing the important work.
I would dance the exact same way to, I'm not
Nick, it's a similar chord progression.
Thank you. That's all I'm looking for.
No, that's not all you're looking for. You're looking for us to say, yeah, what an ear you have.
Now
And
I'm
I
gonna-
am saying, yeah, what an ear you have, but what a horrible ear you have.
Now I'm going to put
right,
a
go
poll up
pig.
and then intersplice this with the Bachelor producers being like, yeah, we had someone do a sound alike.
Love it.
Aloe Black. I love Aloe Black. Is the point of
all
it.
right, so Houston does actually look like a pretty cool place, and it gets cooler when Clarence
shows
walks
up.
in
I knew you
the
were going to
door.
say that. What a guy.
I know. How could he leave now? We're talking about Clarence. I mean, come on, man.
Forgive me, I'm coughing.
Yeah, we got the long C. So Clayton is, yeah.
Oh. This is my other bit.
Oh, full of piss and giggles
Back to
right
back?
now. Wow.
I didn't realize they were back to back, but
Yeah.
Clayton meets his own old Mizzou teammate Clarence. I would love to meet the other starting 11: Clifford, Clint, Clyde, Claude, Clark, Clement, and Cleet, and the other two. That's all I could think of.
Do you want to go pee?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that 11?
He says it so fast.
All right. So Clayton is aggressively happy towards Clarence. High fives and smacks and shoves and put me down. It's good to see you.
Clayton,
You know what I mean?
Clayton loves Clarence because Clarence has a family. He wants a family. He wants to be just like Clarence.
Well, you know what I was thinking? These two do very clearly seem like they're friends.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, how could someone be friends with Clayton?
I don't think we know Clayton, Dylan.
No.
I
we
don't think. Who knows? We might like him. I think he's a manipulative.
Wait. You don't think we know Clayton?
I can't break down who the dude is. I think he's just a narcissist piece of S who completely wanted to be the Bachelor and was able to figure that out or whatever. But I don't
We've
think,
got an iceberg person. You're saying?
well, he could be a nice guy behind the scenes, other than him wanting to be on TV. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, no, he's a simpleton and a playboy.
Like-
I mean, I don't think that there's much beneath the surface.
There
for
probably
old
isn't.
Clayton.
Nick Vile is much more calculated.
Yes, he's a snake.
Yes.
Yeah, he belongs to House Slytherin, Nick Vile. But I was thinking, football really binds people together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? These men have been in the trenches together. And unfortunately, that's what I think allows Clarence to paper over all of Clayton's faults, like his teeth and his stupidity, because they're really, really good buddies.
Double sessions, baby.
Absolutely. So the date card gets dropped in the middle of Gabby's synopsis of the vibe. But before we find out who's on the date card, let's take a quick break to talk about the greatest anti-procrastination elixir you've ever fucking heard of. It's Magic. Can we curse in the middle of the
Oh, yeah.
it's Magic Mind, baby, and you can get it at magicmind.co.
No,
It is
magicmind.co.
such an awesome little guy. You can get a bunch of these. Take one every morning. It does what coffee pretends to do. Coffee pretends to give you energy, but it doesn't. It just blocks the receptors in your brain that trigger your tiredness. Coffee doesn't give you any zen hum. It doesn't give you any focus. It gives you jitters. And God help you if you take a bunch of Adderall or suck down Bangs or Celsiuses all day. That's even worse for you. Get clean, get healthy, get focused, and stop procrastinating with Magic Mind. Go to magicmind.co, enter in promo code Clayton to get 25% off.
Can I tell you another benefit about it that's not on the bottle?
Yeah.
You can look fucking cool pretty soon. What is with my mouth tonight? You can look cool pretty soon. This is going to be hip.
Yeah.
I know the proprietor of Magic Mind. He's like, oh yeah, if you scale it out, we're doing like $500,000 in sales.
Whoa.
Oh, a month later, if you scale it out to a year, we're doing $2 million in $5 million in sales at the current rate projected. Pretty soon this is going to be all over, and you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I learned about that from another Bachelor podcast. I've been drinking Magic Mind every day, and it's increased my productivity and success in life for years, you idiot.
Yeah, it's like...
Don't tell me about Magic Mind. I know. I heard it from another Bachelor podcast.
Yeah, it's like if we were doing advertisements for Yeezys before they were famous. That's what Magic's Mind's going to be like. There are going to be lines down the block for this stuff.
When we started, I brought you guys on the table. We had this offer from Yeezys, and you were like, cloth shoes? Get out of here, you idiot.
How much are they? $775? Made by little faraway hands? No way can we advertise that stuff. Go to magicmind.co, enter in promo code Clayton, 25% off. So, date card gets dropped. It's Rachel, baby. It's Rachel. It was always gonna be
Wings
Rachel.
of love.
We go to a farm in the middle of the woods, and the leg wraparounds, I'm noticing, they're going to start to be, for this season, a little bit more sexual than normal, you know? You can see that Rachel knows what he wants. To be always and forever hooking up with plenty of tongue on camera and not speaking. But these leg wraparounds, especially into hometowns and, you know, the latter stages of the season, it's going to be full-blown smut because that's the language this man speaks. So
I thought the same thing. This is a very aggressive leg wraparound.
Yeah.
When I saw it, and this is a triple entendre coming up, both them being in Houston, and you can figure out the other two. But when he did that full leg wraparound and she jumped in his arms, I was like, Houston, we have liftoff.
Right. Yeah. He was engorged. He was aroused.
Yes, his penis actually lifting her, and Houston.
Yes.
Space station. Thank you.
All right. So the date is going to be getting dirty in the mud, or so we thought. Clayton says country clay might come out. The fuck does that mean? You gonna break her neck like Lenny? What the fuck does that mean, Clayton? Jesus. No, they ride horses. One is named Ash. Great horse name. He says, is there anything that you do that's not hot? This guy is so dumb.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, this is my kind of date, though, Nikki. Sorry if I interrupted you.
No, it's totally fine. I feel like I've harped on this too much, and now I've made it uncomfortable anytime someone has a better thought than I do. But
I was just going to say, there's beers here. I like how they're allowed to have some beers on the date and some barbecue.
don't get ahead of yourself.
Well, there's nothing.
Patrick, do not get ahead of yourself.
I don't want to.
I did have a point then. That's sometimes why I try to get it in. Damn it. I can do it. We've seen Clayton. We've seen him be dumb and uncomfortable. In this date right here, when they're horseback riding and he's feeding those lines like, have you ever been not hot? This is Clayton dumb and super comfortable. He's super into Rachel. Yeah. He's definitely wants her to be like in the last one, but like it's still, you see how dumb he is. He's smiling ear to ear, but trying to put game on.
Oh my God.
He's a dumb
We'll get
man.
to the doc in a bit, but he is a dumb man. So they approach a clearing, which is home to a family cookout. And there's a bit of a good, bad, and the ugly thing going on here, but they're not cowboys. You know, he's an idiot on The Bachelor, and then there is just a family. One guy is in a pink polo shirt. But it's this like, y'all didn't happen to make any extra, did you? And it's like, what are we doing here? Why did he just pause at the opening of the clearing? This is the pinnacle of shit producing from this franchise.
This is one of my favorite scenes in a while. We made a big stink in Bachelor in Paradise when they broke up some girls' quinceañera. This was the exact same thing. And the whole idea was like, oh, we want Clayton to be around this family. But they didn't reveal the family until like 5 minutes into the date. Instead, they went up to 3 strange men who were drinking beers and probably cooking meth. Not because of how they looked, but because of where they're located, out in a clearing, and probably have a shed.
Yeah. That's where you cook that shit. Trust me, I have family that does it. So, not only is this weird to walk into a family cookout, but to have Clayton set this up. So one, he can't. But two, he says that they're crashing this party, which had been staged like Good, Bad, and the Ugly, and apparently there's been dialogue written for it. They're not crashing anything. I don't know why this is a thing that this show does. To highlight how fucking awkward and weird this entire thing is, let's play a quick clip.
I like him a lot so far.
Like you can see a future with him.
I think I can.
You want to have kids one day?
Yeah, I do. I'm so ready to have kids.
Tons of
really
kids,
do.
one kid.
I think I want.
Are you writing a book about me, bitch?
Why are you asking her these questions? Why did you ask her? How are you doing with Clayton? You don't know him.
I don't know who you are.
I think she's...
What is this date?
This wife is an empath, and she's just sensing they're new, and she's just making sure that Rachel is comfortable, and she's ready to have a family with this
Dude,
Strange couple she's never met.
that poor fuck making those ribs has got to sit there and glaze those things. I'm sure that he loves that. It's very, very therapeutic, almost meditative for him. And he's got to humor this hulking potato of a human man talking to him about this woman he doesn't know. This is so bad. So
they probably had to wait until they got cold, and it just tore at that guy's heart.
Yes, they're ruined because of this shoot. So anyways, Clayton rolls up on Rachel in that pushy empath, and he says, what are we talking about here? And they say, well, she's got 6 brothers, and this is when we start getting goofy. I like
that Clayton learned about the 6 brothers from a stranger and not asking her.
That is a lot of... It's a lot of brothers.
What are you guys doing for Christmas?
Tommy, Terry, Jimmy, Billy, Bobby, dude.
Yeah. So, the guy, some guy. says, hey, Clayton, she wants to have 10, maybe 15 kids of her own. And that is when Clayton pauses for too long and says, I'm going to go over here. And everybody has a laugh. And in the next scene, he has to explain to Rachel that he's super sarcastic and that he was just kidding that entire time.
I'll impregnate you right now.
Oh my God, this show's so bad, but so good.
The fellows were ribbing me about being too into you. These 2 strangers I've never met that are my new best friends.
My brothers over there, my grill brothers. So Clayton delivers an awesome toast at the gingham table, and we end what was a really fucking weird segment. So Clayton pulls her over to the dock, and at this point I'm thinking Clayton has met his wife, or at least the girl that he's going to get engaged to, and then call it off with.
They definitely appear to have chemistry here. And one sure tell sign is whispering. Okay, when you start whispering to each other, that means there's a connection there. He says, I'm so fucking into you. She says, me too, I'm into you too. Then he says, you're like what I want. And she says, me too, you're like what I want too. We don't want the ducks to hear us.
I think this is Rachel's move.
Yes, that's 100% what it is. It doesn't mean that they have a connection.
As a female pilot, she can have any man she wants, and this is what she uses to seduce them.
Yes.
It reminded me in Knocked Up when Seth Rogen breaks up with Kristen Bell, and he has to go out and get pussy, and they show a montage of him.
No, that can't. That's not.
What? You can't say pussy?
Well, no, that's never been a thing that happens in those movies. Seth Rogen's never been with Kristen Bell, I don't think, right?
Jason
Segel. Jason Segel.
Same guy.
And it's not Knocked Up. It's Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Honestly, fuck you for just moving on being that wrong. Because I was like, what's happening?
Incredible.
Oh, my God.
Way to use the context clues. All right. In Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Jason Segel breaks up with Kristen Bell. There's a montage of him going out and getting laid to try to forget about her.
He doesn't break up with her. She breaks up with him, and he's heartbroken and
he's trying to get over it.
Oh, my God.
Who broke up with who?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. The other thing you corrected, the name of the movie and the star I was talking about, important points.
Right. Not that.
Not that. But he dates a girl, or he brings one girl home, and she just keeps going, hi. Hi.
That's right.
Hi. And it reminded me of Rachel. Sometimes when I dig a bit too long, or like things happen like it just did, I see Pat look at his phone.
I think it only gets better. It really only gets better. So
thank you for correcting that.
Okay, so I do think that they have moves. Hers is deliberate. His is not. It's uncontrollable, incontrollable, whatever it is. So
his move is licking cottonmouth out of the corner of his mouth.
Yes, that's one of his moves. But another one of his moves is Country Clayton. He seems to get frustrated by his intense feelings of affection for this woman, and he has this kind, because he's a dum-dum, he has this kind of aggression towards her. He's like, it doesn't need to make sense. It's like, whoa, calm the fuck down, buddy.
He becomes like a hero in a romance novel.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to make sense. Yes. We belong together.
Yelling in the rain, There's no rain. Stop yelling. You don't know this girl.
He's trying to be Peter, looking back out the rearview mirror, knowing he left the woman that Peter Krause from Wisconsin. That was the first stop story.
Oh, got it. Okay.
He gave, it was a very good analogy. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
guys.
no, that's okay. So, Rachel, like you said, slips into this quite sexy and quite overused whisper where she says things like, "Hi, I'm crazy about you." It's very, very weird. So, anything before we get to the evening and more whispers?
No, night date.
All right.
Just if Bachelor Nation doesn't work out for pilot Rachel, she has a huge career in ASMR.
Oh my God, she'd crush it. So, they're in an adorable little Joanna Gaines farmhouse this evening. Clayton sits her down and haunting music plays. He says, "How could anyone as incredible as you be single?" 2 reasons. 1, fame. 2, she's in her 20s. It's very possible to be that at that age.
Especially in this day and age.
Anything from this sit down?
Yeah, okay, just briefly. She takes the bait, talks a little too much about her ex. Yeah, I never do that on a date, right? Just say, it didn't work out. We were different people, too young, too immature to work it out, whatever. And then she also says she's working too much. But fuck it. Clayton's cool with all of it. It's The Bachelor. And then let's
have fun in there.
Let's have some fun. And here's some empty, nonsensical conversation between the two of them on the date. It's right after she says it worked. It's right after that conversation.
Clayton's classics.
That I wanted to bring up.
I'm like shaking. It just makes me nervous because I feel like we had such a great day, and I don't want to scare you away.
More, right?
But I knew when I was a kid I wanted to be a pilot, and I've never had any doubt in myself. That was just, I knew I was going to be a pilot. And as a woman, I have to work harder, and I have to prove myself more every single day. And I didn't have the best previous relationship. He was not supportive. He would look at women who post online about, my husband he travels and he cheats and he, is never home and all this stuff. He just would put me in this category of this is what it's gonna look like. So to come home and have no support from, someone you think you love, it showed me that I never, ever want to experience love like that again, where it's so conditional and it's so you have to be this way all the time for me to love you. I really, really do think you can make it work with the right person. I want to have a family so bad. I want to be a mom and I want to be married while still doing what I've, worked my whole life for. I think everything happens for a reason, and the more I am here and the more we're together, I do feel like I'm supposed to be here, and I am really hopeful.
Well, it's funny you said that. I do think everything happens for a reason. I can tell how passionate you are about what you do, and that's so attractive to me. And I just want to assure you that I don't have any concerns about that job, and I would never, ever hold you back from doing something that you love.
Hearing you say that, I know it's so weird to cry about, but I just feel like I've never you just spoke everything that I've needed to hear, and it just makes me so happy, and I'm
Prince Charming here.
He let her talk for such a long time. He just looks at her and licks and just keep walking the plank.
He tells her that, that's your job. You keep, I don't got a problem with you being a flight instructor.
We need money.
That's everything she ever wanted to hear. Wow. Did they make this guy in a lab?
She is also wearing a lot of chapstick or something. Perhaps it's lip balm. Maybe it's dry in H-Town, but just a tremendous amount of Aquaphor around her lips.
Oof, the bar is low.
What I was about to say could be construed as misogynistic, so I'm not going to say it.
Great. Say Cherie said it to you.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Cherie texted me and she said there's too much lip filler, so much lip filler that your lip is actually like pointed up, so the lights are shining right down on it when the lip gloss
it's 100%.
should be just
it's also
right
called
straight
duck
in your
lips.
face.
Got it. Okay. Thank you, Cherie.
Thank you, Cherie.
Restless
It's
Road.
crazy. Right before he talked, he said a point, and I was like, "Hey, Nick, remember this thing you want to say? He's about to play this clip. I'm going to wait." And I was like, "Oh, don't take a sick rip. You'll forget your point."
Right.
We listened to 3 minutes because we didn't listen to you. You were like, "Oh no, it's further." We listened to about 3 minutes of this conversation, and I forgot it all.
Okay. So the night ends with Restless Road, Country Jonas Brothers, incredibly romantic music. So romantic, in fact, that it coaxes Clayton to tell Rachel that he'll never dim her light. And she gets the rose, and can we get to the next day?
Mike Fleiss, you are terrible.
The young ladies are talking about Shanae, and Shanae has her ear to the wall. Anything on this, or can we get to the tailgate?
Yeah, let's move on.
I'm really going to learn a lot about editing because I'm going to edit my own sick rip.
All right, so today we'll be sponsored by the Hyundai IQ or IONQ5. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's a fucking Hyundai. So,
it'll yell at you when you try to back out of your driveway.
I'm not kidding. I know that could have been perceived as hacky. Go to another podcast.
Your bit?
Yeah.
I don't think so at all.
Oh, okay. Because, like, these cars have too much robot shit in them. So, we're tailgating, and we're showcasing the incredible features of the vehicle. And Clayton says that he's going to watch Gabby cook food after she plugs in the barbecue. She's like, will you cook with me? He's like, no, I'm going to watch. And then he walks off. And she's stuck at that grill slaving away for everybody making burgers. She's such a great human being. Then we meet two guys who don't want to live in Houston anymore. It's Jonathan Grenard and Camus Grugier Hill of the 4-13 Houston Texans. The date will be full tackle football. And it will be played by two teams, the Shrimp Stampede and the Purple Punisher. Now, the practice in the locker room does not look encouraging. But who cares? Let's get to the girls beating the shit out of each other. This is so exploitative, ABC. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
And every year they kind of do this like mea culpa when things get too physical.
Right.
They're like, oh, yeah, we got to shut this down. We don't want everybody to get hurt. But then they played this montage of the Bachelor Nation Bowls, which reminded me of the beginning sequence in Game Day 98 when helmet-to-helmet hits were lauded. It was before...
I remember that day.
It was before Jacked Up turned into Come On,
No,
Man.
hit him in the head with your head.
Dude, you just saw people separating, and I was like 11, just fucking feeling stuff I've never felt.
Right.
I want to play football.
Yeah, and you never did.
And that was, I was on the team, and the montage that we saw of this series of Bachelor Nation Bowls really brought me back.
Well, I think that this is phenomenal producing and also terrible producing, and it's phenomenal because it's so bad. They do this, while Jesse is alongside the venerable Hannah Storm, they run this package, and they do this thing where they try to establish this as tradition under the banner of the Bachelor Bowl. Now, it is tradition. They always subject innocent young women to violence against one another, or else they can't proceed in the competition. They always do that. But it's never been called the Bachelor Bowl. They've never branded it. So to just run this package, which is a weird nod, you said 1998, it reminded me
of a specific video.
Right, but like it had a patina to it, like it was from the old Al Michaels broadcast or something like this, or something like that. It was really, really bizarre. So,
what's patina?
Like a wear, like a faded wear to it.
I like that.
Thank you. It's a great word. I didn't come up with it. So
it's in the lexicon.
The game is absolute chaos. It begins with Sierra picking up an obviously dead ball up off the ground and she begins sprinting to the end zone, celebrating like they scored a touchdown. The ball was blown dead.
It reminded me of Phoebe in the one where they play football.
Yes, it reminded me of that too.
Except that was a live ball.
I texted you. So the Olympian Marlena is way too intense about this entire thing. She's head and shoulders more athletic than not just everyone here, but pretty much everybody on planet Earth. But I will say you're going to get sent home for that kind of athleticism.
Way too intense is what any non-Olympian says to a champion such as Marlena.
Sorry. All right, so the second half is more continued nonsense. There are no calls. There are fumble recoveries and no turnovers on possessions. It just makes no sense. The Purple Punishers take the prize to get more time with Clayton. And
the fact
Shanae, she's pissed.
Shanae's rightfully pissed. She was actually pretty competent from what the few split seconds of game time we would see.
Right.
But the fact that it was 7-0 at halftime actually leads me to believe it was somewhat actually they scored it. They just made these girls play a game, which in other seasons I've always had the feeling they just kind of make them play a couple snaps.
No. They had quarters here, but still no rules. So, Shanae is paranoid. That's why she's so upset, because she's paranoid that there's another rat going up against her, but we'll get to that in 1 second. First, let's get to the night date.
Night date!
We are at Hughes Manor. Hughes Manor. And Clayton cheers to a great night. That's what I need a meanwhile, Pat.
Meanwhile,
Jill, who left her cat to be here, storms back home and says, "Sup, bitches, we lost." Jill is the greatest. I mean, she's so great.
We talk a lot of shit about the producing, but I want to give flowers when flowers are due. Having them come sit down in the hotel room in full uniform, dejected, really made me laugh.
Hilarious.
It was very, very funny.
It was very sad, and it had a lot of humor to it. And I don't know who the Debbie Downer is. I don't know if it's Hunter or who, but there's one of the blonde ones sits down and she says, "You know, everybody on that date has a really good connection with him, and here we are, not progressing. And I don't know if we can make this ground up." If I was in the room, I'd be like, "What the fuck? Calm down."
Did anybody say, "Who are you"?
I'd be like,
Who are you? Seriously.
I don't want to be associated with you because of what a non-factor you are.
Okay, so Clayton and Teddy, they sit down, and he asks to see her pus. He was just a backtrack.
That was close to inappropriate.
No,
just
no.
Y away from inappropriate.
Her pus. I didn't even, genuinely did not even think about
I didn't
that.
think you did.
Okay, so Clayton, I just want to backtrack a little bit. Did you guys recognize how aggressive he was? How into the fact that they were going to be tackling one another he was? He was saying hit him as hard as you can, that way it won't sting when you Clayton, what the fuck is wrong with you?
The man is a guy who attempted to have cups of coffee in the NFL. He wanted.
Yes.
This man loves football.
He still has that pent up energy.
I could see that when Clarence walked in.
Right.
I was so surprised he didn't yell, "Let's go!" Right. The man loves fucking football.
He loves football. All right, so
gotta stop saying the F word.
Teddy shows him her pus, and then she says that when she was younger, her parents separated a lot.
Snapchat me your pus.
That's an uh-oh. That's a little bit of an uh-oh, because usually you just separate one time. Why did they separate a lot? That's really, as a child of divorce, I mean, it kind of just happens one time, and then, you either repair it or, I don't know, separating a lot, that's an uh-oh. But anyways.
It's definitely an uh-oh.
Sierra then toasts to having a great night, all while Shanae is getting tired of these two-faced bitches. Now, Sierra is one of those. And I would say to Shanae that Sierra is not two-faced. She's pretty straightforward with how much she
busted his balls, which I
dislikes
appreciated.
Shanae. But she does suck. She rats big time. And this begins the carousel of shit talking, and that is when Shanae enters the chat.
I think Sierra is a product of just being like gassed up by the other girls. I feel like she went very sincerely to Clayton the first time she told on. I don't know if it was Cassidy. Or Shanae.
Yeah,
it was Cassidy, and that was like needed. And then all the girls were like, "You're fucking tight, Sierra," and it was again, and she's now narc mode.
She's in full narc mode, and I don't think that she did that.
She's Al Pacino and that she's Serpico.
Serpico. One of your favorite films?
I've never seen it.
Sierra is Serpico.
Okay. So, another brilliant move by Shanae here. She walks over, and the only reason that it's a good move is because of how soft the target is. Mm-hmm. If this was anyone else, it would be problematic. I mean, we've seen... who was the young lady that wanted to choke Nick Vile?
Oh, the chokey?
Yeah. Jasmine wanted to choke Nick Vile.
Ask me if I want to be choked. I'm Nick Vile.
do you like getting choked?
Mama will. Mama will.
No, do your Bane impression.
So, but if this was on Clayton, she could probably go like, "Do you like to be choked?" And he'd be like, "Not me, but what about you?" And like they would start making out, and it would be fine because he's a soft fucking target. So
he is a mall. He's not an airport.
No. So Clayton does have his first moment of backbone here, though. Shanae walks in, and he looks at her, and he's baffled, and he says, "Weren't you on the shrimp stampede?" What are you doing here?
He put in a metal detector.
But Shanae just knocks it out of the park. She says she put her ear to the wall and heard the three in question plot to get her kicked off of the show. And the girls are horrified, and Clayton's a little pissed too. But it's cool because Shanae and him kiss.
He almost fucks her on that bar.
He throws her up on the bar and comments on how sturdy it is. And then again, they kiss. So everything is fine.
He stole that line from Tom Cruise and Kelly McGillis in Top Gun. He doesn't even have an original thought.
Okay.
I've been pretty impressed with the lack of smut thus far this season. I mean, there's been a lot of mouth kissing. I will say that. But this was disgusting. Am I right? This was Colton and Hannah at the massage table.
There is been too much smut this season. But we'll be back next week to cover even more. Guys, join us at Patreon, patreon.com/anotherpodcastnetwork. Love is Blind is coming in 2 weeks. Check out our Love is Blind recap in this feed in a couple days. Join us on the YouTubes. Search us there. Subscribe, like, tell your friends, tell your families. Jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews. We'll see you next week. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Pat, say goodbye.
Bye, guys.